What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Minecraft UHC with Shorty Doo-Wop. And as I said in the last video, I'm kind of doing the commentary after the fact. I had already recorded a couple episodes and did the commentary as I was playing, but like I said, I was sick. So it sounded really bad. It was really scratchy, really nasally sounded, which I'm still a little bit sick, but it's a lot better than it was. It was pretty bad when I went back and listened to it. It was just, my voice just sounded completely horrible. So yeah, I am doing the recording separate, and what I wanted to do, why I wanted to do it again anyways, was because last time I had bought a new desk. So I spent a few $100 on this nice desk that's got like a big hutch, and it's a U-shaped desk. So, I mean, it's probably, I think it was like 60 inches wide or something like that. It's a massive desk. Because I'm in school and I've got a bunch of stuff going on, with like reading and programming classes and stuff, it helps to have just a big desk where I can spread out all of my papers. I can get all my books on my desk and my papers and pens and my computer. I can even set my laptop up if need be. But I had an audio boom that I had bought, that's kind of like what you would see in like a radio station or something like that. It's adjustable. It's a Hale sound audio boom. And I had it set up, and my desk has actually a hole cut into the desk, where you can feed all your cables and stuff to your computer and whatnot. But I tried hooking up the audio boom to the desk, and it has a rounded edge to it, so it wasn't clamping on good enough. It would keep just like popping off and everything. So I had to hook it up. The only flat surface that didn't have a rounded edge was where you run all the wires. So I had it hooked up there, and the hutch sits, kind of right over that. So the microphone was like right in my face. So when I listened back to the audio, I could change it. I could try to normalize it and try to lower the audio level. But I figured it would distort it so much that it would just sound like crap. So what I ended up doing is I don't use a keyboard. It came with like a pull-out, for a keyboard that you can slide it under the desk. But I hate using those because I'm a tall guy, and this desk is pretty tall too. It's like 30 inches tall from the ground, so it's a fairly high up desk, but I like to type with my hands up high because it cuts down on carpal tunnel, at least for me. When I'm typing in the computer, or not the computer, but the keyboard, like shelf that you can roll out, it's down so far that you've got, I kind of like, you crank your wrists upwards, so it kind of puts like a strain on your wrists, and I hate that. So I ended up not putting that on, and I still had, the wood from that. So what I did is I just went and took pretty much a jigsaw and cut off a little portion, and it is like coated. It is, God, why can't I think of the word? I'm blanking. I'm drawing a blank. God, not a varnish, but like when you put a stain. God, why can't I think of that? It's a stained wood, so it is the color of the desk, so it doesn't stand out too much. There is one side that's kind of, that's wood colored, but yeah, so I cut some of that out. I screwed it into the bottom of the desk in the position where I wanted the boom stand to sit, and so yeah, that's where it's at now. I put it on the outside of my desk and screwed it in from underneath, and yeah, it's working pretty good. It's holding in pretty nicely. So I got that. I got a new desk. Was sick. I had the flu, and I was sick for a couple days, and I started to get better. I was like, dosing up real heavy on flu medicine and stuff like that, and started getting better. And my girlfriend was due to come in a few days later after I got sick, and then she got in, and I started kind of getting congested and gravelly throat and sore throat again, like when she got here. And it was just kind of, everybody in the house was getting sick, so it's still like hanging around. I can't get rid of it. It's on its way out, but luckily, it seems like I've been sick for a couple weeks or better. But yeah, so that's been going on. That's why I haven't been putting videos up. I knew getting back into school and getting like back into the swing of things would kind of cause a little bit of a problem, just for the fact that when you first start classes, you don't know what the workload's going to be like. You kind of don't know if you're going to have tons of reading, or if you're going to have tons of homework to do, or you've got to figure out kind of, okay, this class needs to come first because I have so much to do for this. And I do 2 online classes also, so I have to watch online lectures and then do kind of discussion board posts and multiple choice quizzes and stuff. So that's kind of it takes getting used to, and being able to schedule that stuff. So I kind of slacked on that a little bit. And then, like I said, my girlfriend showed up, so of course I'm not going to like record a bunch of videos and spend a lot of time on playing Minecraft and stuff while she's here, because she's from England, so it's not like I get to see her quite a bit. So I wasn't playing Minecraft that much while she was here. Plus I still had homework to do on top of that, so so while she was here, it was making sure that she was having like fun and having a good time, but also in the same stroke as I still had homework to do. Like, that stuff didn't just disappear. So if I would have been doing videos on top of that, then it would have been just kind of stupid. So I opted to just not do videos. So yeah, I'm doing this on Thursday night. I was going to try to get this video out on Wednesday, but I had a couple meetings that I had to go to, so I couldn't get that out on Wednesday. So this one's going to go up Friday, and I'm going to try to get the other one done and either upload it this weekend, or maybe start off Monday with that video and record a couple this weekend, or at least try to record a couple weeks worth, so I have some in the bank that I can actually so I can manage my time a little bit better, because it's when you're when you're kind of under the gun and you're going week to week with videos, it makes it kind of difficult. So if I can clear out a window where I can record for a couple hours, a few hours, that's a few weeks worth of videos. If I would sit down and record 10 hours worth, that's 20 minutes a piece, so that's 3 episodes per hour, 10 hours, 30 episodes. And I do 3 episodes a week, so it'd be 10 weeks. I mean, that's 2 months worth. That'd almost get me to, Thanksgiving and stuff. But, so I don't want to do that necessarily, because, things may come up, that I'll talk about in the videos. But if I've already got, a month or, 2 months worth of videos already recorded, things that happen in, end of September, start of October, you wouldn't hear about until like December or, late October. So it's kind of like you've got to find that sweet spot of getting enough videos in the bank versus and still having stuff to talk about. It'd be current and like relevant and stuff. So Yeah. So I'm back in school doing that thing, and I don't think I've really talked about it much as far as like what I do. Um, I'm going into my senior year, and I study linguistics. That's my major. And some people know, and some people don't know. Like people say, "Oh, you're in school. That's awesome. What do you study?" I'll say linguistics, and some people will kind of just stare at me and give me that blank look, or others will just kind of look at me, and I say, "Yeah, it's a study of language," and they're like, "Oh, I know. You didn't have to tell me. I know what it is," but they didn't say outright. Or some people say, "Oh yeah, you study language? Oh, that's cool." Um, but yeah, I kind of work to it. I always thought it was interesting. I've always liked foreign languages and stuff, and I've always liked language. I just didn't know that was something that I could do for a living, outside of because I don't necessarily want to be like a linguistics professor or be a teacher or a research linguist or anything like that. I kind of want to work in industry and stuff like that in a more pointed field, which I'll talk about in a little while. But I didn't get there initially when I started taking classes. I first got there because with my university you have to it's a liberal education, so you have to do their liberal education plan, which is like your first 2 years of your degree. So you do your first 2 years of your degree where you take a little bit of everything. So you do like English, you have to do a foreign language, you have to do physical sciences, you have to do natural sciences and stuff like biology, botany, stuff like that, and then you have to do like your physics and chemistry and stuff like that. What else did I say? English, mathematics. You have to have like a fine art. You have to take like a fine art class. 2 years worth of is what it takes to complete it. So that comes out, if you do full time, it's 12 hours. So it's like 48 credit hours worth of classes. Then you start moving into your major. You declare your major and you move into that stuff, and that's the rest of your degree. And a minor also, if you do that, or a double major. There's plenty of variation to it. But I didn't know what I was going to do right when I started, because I didn't go to school right out of high school. I started probably, I think it was probably 6 years after high school. I graduated 6 or 8 years, something like that. I had a good job once I left high school, and was making money and stuff, so I just kind of kept on that track. And then, that money stopped flowing a little bit, and I was like, I've always liked school. I'd kind of like to go back and do it. And finally I pulled the trigger and said, you know what, I'm going to go back and do it. So I signed up for classes, and I didn't sign up and say, I want to be a teacher, or I want to be, an x-ray technician, or I want to be a nurse. I didn't know what I wanted to do. So I just went in and did, that plan, that liberal education plan. Every semester I would do 2 classes that would take care of that stuff, and 2 classes that I found interesting that I wanted to do. So like the very first semester, I think I took math. I did like math, physics, drawing 1, and CSE. I did a computer science class. And it was just like a basic one. It was just like Access and Excel. So I did like Access databases and Excel. And I did that like my first semester, and then I would do something else, the next semester. So I spent probably, my first year and a half in college, I just did every semester was half classes that I was just, doing just to feel it out. And then I took a geography class, I believe, and we did a little section about language and linguistics and stuff, and that's what kind of sparked my interest. I was like, wow, that's really cool. Some of the stuff we were talking about and learning. So I went and researched some more and found that, did research about the field of study and decided, that's what I want to do. And I started doing that. I took almost 3 years of Italian with it. Not in tandem with like linguistics. It was just, I didn't want to specialize in foreign languages. I just really enjoyed Italian. And I ended up studying abroad there and stuff. But yeah, I did that, and then I switched my minor to computer science. I'm kind of jumping ahead a little bit. So yeah, linguistics. I never did explain it. Linguistics. So it's the study of language. It's one feature that makes us uniquely human. Is our ability to use language. Of course, animals may have, various forms of communicating with each other, but speech and writing is uniquely human. So there are different things that make up the field of linguistics, and you can specialize in each of these for the most part. But every linguist has a basic knowledge of all of it. So you have phonetics, you have phonology, you have morphology, you have syntax, you have semantics, pragmatics, language acquisition, language variation, different varieties of a language. So U.S. English, you have different varieties. You have Appalachian English. You have African American English vernacular, and then you're not supposed to use the word dialects, it's varieties, but you can do dialect studies, you can do the different varieties of English. You got that, God, I don't know what else, semantics, syntax, pragmatics, phonetics, phonology. And then you kind of have like a language and technology, language and computers, which is kind of what I'm interested in. So all those different things, you can look them up, or I can explain them on a future video if somebody has a question about it. But yeah, that's the basics of linguistics, just how we speak, how words are ordered, the meaning behind words, how words are used to result in emphasis and stuff like that, to get across meaning, phonetics and phonology, or phonetics is the broad term of the sound, speech sounds, the minimal units of sound that humans make to create speech. And of course that's where you learn your International Phonetic Alphabet, the IPA, so you can transcribe it's used so you can transcribe how people speak. So me knowing the IPA, I can listen to somebody from Russia and be able to transcribe what they're saying, because I know what what sound each symbol represents. So that's pretty cool. And you can see variations, and of course it gets more detailed. I'm just doing like a broad stroke of what linguistics is. So yeah, those are the broad strokes: the phonetics, the phonology, sounds, how words are ordered, meanings behind words, stuff like that. And you can do, you can specialize in different things. So a lot of linguists, either are practicing, they do applied linguistics. A lot of people that go into speech pathology, they're linguists. They have a strong, linguistic education. If they aren't linguistics or linguists, you have people that go to graduate school that specialize in phonetics. How speech sounds are made, where in the mouth are made, stuff like that. You have people that's lexicographers. They work with words, the fossilization of words, the history of words, the Oxford English Dictionary. Those people that work with those, that works with the Oxford English Dictionary are lexicographers. They research words to find their origins. So what I want to do with graduate school, like I said, I just changed my minor not too long ago to computer science, because I've always wanted to do computational linguistics. I've always loved computers and wanted to work with computers and wanted to merge the two. I wanted to merge, linguistics with computational linguistics. And that is a graduate school thing. That's not something you prepare yourself when you're doing your undergraduate degree, and then you specialize in those things once you go to graduate school. And computational linguistics is kind of how it sounds. It's the interaction of natural language of humans with computers. So pretty much it's kind of like it sounds. Like, I don't want to dive too much in it, but it's, human interaction with computers. And that can be speech, that can be writing, in any avenue that you can think of. So the most out there example that you would be able to see what computational linguists work on is Siri, for instance, or Cortana. That's computational linguistics. But this episode is getting ready to come to a close, I guess. I'm seeing it's about to run out. I don't know, maybe I'll talk about it a little bit more in more depth in the next episode, but I kind of just wanted to talk about that this episode because it's on my mind since I'm back into school. And yeah, we'll see if I talk about it next episode. But yeah, thanks for watching.